Welcome to this episode of the Aquarist Edge, a podcast for home aquarists just like you. Learn more about how to keep a thriving aquarium and discover ideas and tips to give your aquarium the edge. And now, over to our host, Arthur Preston.
Hi everybody, welcome back. Today we're going to take a look at something that perhaps you have faced as a fish keeper. You walk into a fish shop, you see a betta fish in a little jar, maybe a small container or plastic container sitting on a shelf, and you wonder, should I take this betta home? Do I need to rescue this betta? I think it's something we've all faced at some point or another, and I have to say, even here within my city of Cape Town, I've been to a couple of fish shops, some of them quite well known, and seen a variety of bettas stacked in tiny plastic jars. And the temptation is always to go, oh man, I need to rescue these fish. But that question or that issue has actually sparked much debate within the fish keeping community. And so today I'm going to unpack both sides of the argument. I'm going to share a quote from a South African scientist just give you some food for thought, I guess. So let's get into it. Lots of fish keepers feel a strong urge to rescue bettas from poor conditions. These fish are often seen in tiny cups filled with contaminated water. You have no idea when that water gets changed. Some of them are obviously suffering from various health issues. And when you see a fish like this, any ethically minded fish keeper has a strong sense of compassion, and you want to step in and rescue that animal. When you purchase a fish like that from the fish shop, there is an argument to be made that you are providing immediate relief to that animal in distress and can save the fish from potential death or prolonged suffering. For example, it's said that many bettas that are shipped to the United States face high mortality rates during transport. It is said that up to 1,000 out of every 100,000 may not survive. So rescuing one of those fish can mean the difference between life and death. There are many success stories within the fish keeping community where individuals have rescued bettas and transformed their lives. A cursory glance through aquarium-themed Instagram accounts and online social media platforms are filled with before and after photographs, showing how little love and care can turn a distressed fish into a vibrant, healthy companion. On the other side of the coin, purchasing bettas from pet shops can inadvertently support the very industry that mistreats them. When you buy a fish like this out of pity, it creates demand for more fish, for more bettas, encouraging those fish keeping shops to continue these harmful practices. I read an article recently about ethical concerns about rescue bettas that said that buying these fish reinforces the cycle where sellers profit from neglect and are likely to replace sold fish with new ones kept under similar conditions. Bettas that are rescued from poor environments often come with health issues that can be challenging for the average fish keeper at home to address. Many may suffer from disease or stress-related problems that require extensive care and resources. Treatments for common ailments such as fin rot or swim bladder disease can add up quickly. And on top of that, some fish keepers may not be prepared for the emotional toll of trying to rehabilitate a compromised fish, particularly if the fish eventually dies. Rehabilitating a betta can require a long-term commitment and specialized knowledge, and not every fish keeper has the expertise needed to nurse an injured or sick fish back to health. It has been said that buying a betta is not really an act of rescue. It is funding ongoing exploitation within the pet trade. And so this raises the ethical question about whether rescuing a single fish is worth perpetuating an industry that profits from their suffering. So then you may be wondering, well, what is the alternative? What can be done? So instead of purchasing bettas from pet shops, there are several alternate ways to help improve the welfare of these amazing fish. Firstly, purchase your betta from a reputable breeder, someone who prioritizes animal welfare. There are plenty of local breeders, certainly here in South Africa, who do a phenomenal job. These are people who truly understand the welfare and the upkeep of bettas. They feed them well, they look after them well, they breed them ethically, they transport them ethically. Support these people. If you don't know where to find them, ask in a local fish keeping group. Reach out to people that you may know who are in the aquarium trade. Ask them. Please ask them to give you the names and the contact details of ethical breeders. Do an online search and you'll find these people. You can also raise awareness about proper betta care and engage on social media about your concerns around keeping of bettas in these tiny little containers. You could also speak to the pet store owners. Some of them are not going to like the feedback, but it may simply be a case of ignorance, particularly if that shop is not an aquarium specialist shop. I guess what really upsets me is when I go into a store that advertises itself as an aquarium specialist store and you see fish that are kept in these tiny little containers. You know that the people who run that store should know better, and yet they persist with this practice. So engage with the store management, write them emails, put reviews on Google, put a bit of pressure on them to change their practice. Dr. Hushamaya, I hope I'm saying that correctly, from the Stagspruit Veterinary Clinic here in South Africa, says the welfare of aquatic animals is often overlooked, particularly in the pet trade. It's crucial for fish keepers to understand that purchasing fish from poor conditions may inadvertently support unethical practices. And the aquatic vet, Dr. Marlene van der Merwe, says fish are sentient beings that require appropriate care and environments to thrive. When we see them in distress, our instinct may be to rescue them, but we must also think about the systemic issues that allow such neglect to occur. So in conclusion, while the impulse to rescue bettas from poor conditions is understandable, it's crucial to consider the broader implications of such actions. By purchasing so-called rescue bettas, consumers may unintentionally perpetuate the cycle of neglect and poor care that these fish often endure. So instead of buying from pet shops, consider supporting ethical breeders who are local to your area, who are local to your country. Your choice can make a significant impact on the welfare of these beautiful and stunning fish.
That's it for this episode of the Aquarist Edge. Please consider subscribing to this podcast so that you don't miss further episodes. We would love it if you would also rate and review the podcast, as this helps make it visible to others. Until next time, keep learning and discovering, and keep finding your Aquarist Edge in this captivating and fascinating hobby.